Liaison officers are the focal persons of the Cabinet Secretariat in our various offices, ministries and agencies. They execute Cabinet-related work on our behalf and facilitate such work for the attention of Cabinet. Our workshop focused on really two components or two objectives. One was to improve the Cabinet governance system. This is a system that is really prescribed in terms of the Cabinet handbook. This handbook really are the guidelines that talks to the affairs of Cabinet. The second component really focused on improving the efficiency and effectiveness of our various personal assistants that serve executive directors, deputy ministers, and ministers, including director generals of our offices, ministries, and agencies. Many a times our focal persons are also serving as on a day-to-day basis. They are the personal assistants to our politicians, and they double up as CLOs as well. The Cabinet Liaison Officers, we refer to them as CLOs. These two components carry much of the weight that our CLOs do on a daily basis. Therefore, the Cabinet Secretariat believes that continuous training is very important in order to ensure that our important stakeholders, in this case the Cabinet Liaison Officers, are kept really abreast of Cabinet affairs and ways of doing business. We have all heard our President. It is business unusual. Therefore, we tend to make sure that our stakeholders really also move with this slogan.
For those unfamiliar, Director, with the internal workings of Cabinet procedures, can you define the critical role that Cabinet officers play within the governance of architecture and why it's important that they undergo continuous capacity building?
Thank you. As I've indicated earlier that we have a Bible that we refer to as the Cabinet Handbook. The Cabinet Handbook really indicates or reflects all the guidelines that should be followed in terms of what Cabinet work is all about. Therefore, in terms of our Cabinet Liaison Officers, their roles are a lot. And their roles is to ensure that the work of Cabinet at ministerial level is conducted in an efficient and effective manner as prescribed in the handbook that I spoke about. Cabinet Liaison Officers, among many other activities, are expected to prepare what we refer to as Cabinet memoranda for submission to Cabinet through their respective ministers to seek for endorsement of certain affairs that are ongoing in their respective ministries. That's number one. Number two, Cabinet Liaison Officers should also ensure that the resolutions of Cabinet are channeled through, because once Cabinet sits, we as the Cabinet Secretariat issue what we call Cabinet action letters back to respective ministries for implementation. Therefore, our stakeholders, which are the Cabinet Liaison Officers, should ensure that upon receiving these Cabinet action directives, they channel them through to respective departments within their office, including public enterprises that fall under them, and report back to Cabinet on the status of implementation. We submit a biannual report once every 6 months to Cabinet to apprise the President and the Cabinet members on the status of implementation. That's number two. Number three, Cabinet Liaison Officers should also ensure that their ministers or principals attend to the work of Cabinet committees. Cabinet as a body has standing Cabinet committees and ad hoc committees really to facilitate or to do some research really for Cabinet so that Cabinet can really make an informed decision on a particular matter. As in terms of undergoing continuous capacity building, as per your question, I think I've already touched on this earlier when I say that continuous training is important to keep up with the with the work of Cabinet, also to keep up with the technological advancement around the world. At Cabinet Secretariat, we are in the process of commencing with the development of what we call an e-cabinet system. Many countries really have migrated or gone away from the paper-based cabinet system, and they've gone the e-way, which is the best way that really countries are trying to do much of their work. Once we get the system up and running, this will require training of our liaison officers really to ensure that they understand the system, as well as ensure that many of their cabinet submissions go through this system for ease of implementation or for ease of decision making by cabinet members.
Prior to the training initiative, what specific challenges or operational inefficiencies were observed in the way that Cabinet Liaison Officers executed their roles? And how did these challenges inform the design and focus areas of this particular workshop that took place last week?
Thank you for that question. As I've indicated earlier, that we have a Cabinet handbook that really talks to the guidelines or the rules and regulations how cabinet work should be done, or how cabinet work really is conducted. Therefore, the cabinet handbook really talks to how a cabinet memorandum should be drafted, the format of a cabinet memo. Therefore, we expect our liaison officers to really follow that particular memo. That's number one. Also, what we have noted in terms of challenges is the poor quality in the reporting of cabinet resolutions. As I've indicated earlier, that cabinet takes resolutions and ministries are expected to carry out or implement the resolutions. Therefore, we have noted that when ministries submit their feedback reports on the status of implementation, we have seen a bit of not too good reporting from that angle. Also, the handbook talks about when one is supposed to submit a cabinet memo, when is the deadline for submitting a cabinet memo. Therefore, we have noted a bit of, over the years, we have noted that some ministries don't adhere to the set deadline that is prescribed in the handbook. Therefore, we touched also on such issues. Poor coordination really from OMAs on cabinet-related matters is something that we have also noted as a challenge. Many a times you have a minister or a ministry that submits a cabinet memo that really touches on the affairs of another ministry. Therefore, we really expect that before a cabinet submission is submitted, internal consultations among various government stakeholders is done, so that once the memo goes to cabinet, those that are affected or those that are also supposed to implement that particular memo or the resolution really stand for this cabinet submission because they had prior consultations on the subject matter. Therefore, based on these challenges, really, we designed a program that addresses all these issues. And the senior staff of the Cabinet Secretariat really took charge of the presentations to ensure that the participants are well informed of the operations of Cabinet.
Do you anticipate measurable changes in how the Cabinet matters are handled following the workshop?
Yes, definitely. We expect changes from all the ministries. In as much as we have been experiencing challenges, we should also really applaud and appreciate those OMAs that have been delivering exceptional work on cabinet-related work. We expect the ministries, really, the officers of the agencies, to continue this excellent work. Hence, we have urged them through our workshop that they should continue delivering such work. We have a checklist at the Secretariat, really, that we use to check the submissions that emanates from various ministries, and this checklist or this checklist really is what we use to ensure that all the components that should form part of a cabinet submission are really indicated in the cabinet memo. Therefore, yes, we are very sure that all the ministries will really pull in the same direction to ensure that the work of cabinet really is done in an efficient and effective manner. Therefore, we are 100% sure that things will continue to improve as we progress.
Can you just tell us what kind of feedback did you receive from the participants regarding the relevance and effectiveness of the workshop?
From the engagement that we had with the participant, one can really tell that we received very constructive feedback from the participants. We also had issued out an evaluation form at the end of the workshop, and I should really say that many of the participants really rated the workshop as a huge success. They've also made serious input for our attention. They've given us food for thought. Therefore, based on this, we're going to come back home. We are going to think about these issues that they have raised, and we're going to craft a report for the attention of the Secretary to the Cabinet and really propose recommendations on how we can address the issues that were raised by them as challenges as well.